Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to Istanbul and welcome to New Well, bringing the well nearer to you. Today is our first evening here in this lovely metropolis, the biggest in the whole entire European continent. And this is also one of our favorite cities in the whole entire world.
We're absolutely delighted to show you all the places you can go and all the things you can do in this delightful intercontinental metropolis located between Europe and Asia.
Good morning everyone. Today is our first full day here in Istanbul and we would like to show you all the places that you have to see when you come to this metropolis. But first, we would like to show you the place where we are staying. We are right now in the 13th region, which is literally in the golden heart of this metropolis by Hagia Sophia.
The Fatih district is an amazing neighbourhood in Istanbul which everyone has to come to. Not only can you see lovely houses and little bars, but you can also see works of art that were built from the Byzantine period all those years ago.
But we cannot start a wonderful day without a nice cup of coffee, so that's what we're going to be doing right now.
We're standing in the historical place which used to be a Roman hippodrome. Right here you can appreciate three important sites, them being the Theodosius obelisk, the Serpent column and the Wall obelisk.
If you're like us, travelers who like learning about history, Istanbul has plenty of that to offer you. Right now we are in my favorite part of the city. I'm talking about Sultan Ahmed Square. Right here you can find two of the most important sites of the city, which are protected by the UNESCO because they are culturally speaking extremely important, not just to this country but for the whole entire world. I'm talking about the Blue Mosque and about Hagia Sophia. Being Hagia Sophia, in my opinion, the most important because it is the oldest. It was built in the year 532 as an Eastern Orthodox cathedral. Hagia Sophia means holy wisdom. It remained as the biggest Christian temple in the world after the completion of the Gothic Cathedral of Seville in the year 1520. Even though when the queue seems endless, and the weather most definitely is speaking on us, we are still going to queue because we need to see this wonder of the world. This majestic piece of art, once the largest cathedral in the world, Hagia Sophia, the dynamic structure has stood for more than 1,500 years by the Bosphorus Strait. With a history that encompasses the rule of many empires, even more emperors, and has housed two religious groups, it's currently one of the most popular tourist attractions in Istanbul. Every time I come inside this majestic building, I always get amazed because it's got a unique beauty, and you should definitely experience that yourself. Right now, Richard and I are in one of the most underrated sites in Istanbul. I'm talking about the Circasi railway station. Have you heard about the famous British novelist Agatha Christie? And about her nice novel, Murder on the Oriental Express? If you have, that's because you have seen probably like the Hollywood films and all stuff. But there is also a novel, and it was written right here in Istanbul. And also, this is the iconic and rather mythical railway station that appears in her novel. So trains would actually indeed depart from here, from Circasi, all the way to Paris. So for me, this is kind of interesting and rather, at the same time interesting, but rather sad that people don't really know much about it. But I'm very glad that Richie and I know about it, and we are sharing this lovely information with all of you.
And if you want to live one of those experiences yourself, like being on one of Agatha Christie's trains, you can take the train all the way to Sophia in Bulgaria. You can buy the train tickets here in Circasi train station. However, be careful, you have to go from Halkali train station, which is on the other end of the line. And if you're not that interested about the historical facts of this train station, you will be amazed to find out that there are so many cats all around this train station. This is why Istanbul has actually been named the City of Cats. It is considered to be one of the only cities in the world where there are a massive number of cats roaming around everywhere.
Right now we are going to take you to one of the massive places here in Istanbul. I'm talking about the Spice Bazaar, which is the second most important in the historical town. This place is known by the locals as the Corn Bazaar or the Egypt Bazaar. You probably are thinking, why is it like called the Egypt and the Corn Bazaar? Because in the Turkish language there is not a difference between corn and Egypt because they both share the same meaning.
No visit to Istanbul is complete without stopping by the atmospheric Spice Bazaar. While the Grand Bazaar may be the largest and most famous of Istanbul's covered bazaars, this spice market wins the prize for being the most colourful, fragrant and often the most fun, as visitors can taste the goods on offer. Built in 1664 as part of the Yeni Cami New Mosque complex, it is known in Turkish as Mısır Çarşısı and sometimes translated to Egyptian Bazaar. Now it's time to go to the tunnel, the oldest underground urban rail line in Istanbul, which entered service on the 17th of January 1875. It is the world's second oldest underground urban rail line after the London Underground.
As a tea drinker myself, I have to say that Turkey has one of the most delicious teas in the world. And of course, your trip to this metropolis wouldn't be completed without having a nice Turkish tea. Especially on a cold day like this one.
We've come to this amazing restaurant right in the centre to have one of the most iconic dishes of the Turkish cuisine, and I'm talking about iskender. This is definitely my favourite dish in the whole of Turkey. You have meat, green pepper, tomato and yogurt. Right behind me is the famous and only Galata Tower, which used to be called the Tower of Christ when it was under the Genoese rule. Built in Romanesque style, this tower was used to be a fire tower so that people could come up to the top and make sure that there were no fires in the city. Tickets cost 175 lira, and when you climb to the very top of the tower you can get an amazing view of the Bosphorus Straits. Right now we're going to climb up and see the view for ourselves. Legend has it that lovers who climb this tower will eventually get married.
If you want to have a better idea of the size of Istanbul, this is one of the best places where you can come to have a view of the whole entire metropolis. Istanbul is split in two continents, even though it is one city. The city is absolutely gigantic. And believe me, this is not even half of it. You can just see probably a quarter of the city from Galata Tower. Right now we are in Istiklal Street, which is definitely the trendiest street in the whole entire city. It is situated in the Galata region of Istanbul, and I've got to say that this part of the city in a way makes me feel like if we were in many Western European capitals. Yesterday I told Richard that there are many parts of this street that make you feel as if we were in London, and also would say in Passeig de Gracia in Barcelona. When you come to Istanbul, you cannot miss to come to this part of the city because you are going to love it. But I really hope you have better weather than us when you visit Istiklal in the future, because today has been raining cats and dogs. It's been very damp and cold. However, the beauty of this place makes us forget about the horrible rainy day. Today's priority is to visit Arnavutköy, which is most definitely one of the most beautiful hidden gems here in Istanbul. We are going to get to that place by ferry, which is, in my opinion, one of the most unique ways to reach the town. They say that it is very beautiful, and I would like to verify it myself. If you want to go to that lovely town, you have to go to Bugaj ferry station. It is very easy and it is not pricey at all. When we were waiting for the ferry, we experienced something rather unpleasant. It was murder by the Bosphorus Strait. It was a seagull swallowing a poor alive fish, imagine. It was a bit of a trauma for us, to be honest. Here's the ferry we have to take to go to Arnavutköy. We are desperate to see this majestic, beautiful fairy tale style town.
Now we're going to get some nice warm tea to warm ourselves up a little bit and rest on this boat.
I really cannot believe that to go from Üsküdar to Arnavutköy you would pay less than €1, and there are so many, I would say, naive tourists who would pay €50 for a 1-hour tour on the Bosphorus Strait. To be honest with you, that's a real massive scam. So don't be silly and be smart. after more or less 30 minutes, we finally reached Arnavutköy, which is in my opinion one of the most beautiful and massive places when you come here to Istanbul. Now, I would like to give you an insight into this wonderful and rather fantastic fairy tale style town. Arnavutköy was settled initially by the Greek during the Ottoman Empire, but there is something very interesting about the translation of Arnavutköy when you translate it into English. It actually means Albanian village, because during the 15th century many Albanian men came to this part of Istanbul to rebuild and restart a new life.
Even though Arnavutköy means Albanian village, it's not a village anymore, it's a town, and there are lots of things to do here. And right now we're going to walk through the town and show you the beauties of this place.
If you want to avoid the crowds and the millions of people that there are every single day in Istanbul, you should definitely consider coming here, because this place is so calm and there is an air of elegance but also of culture and tradition. I just love this place. But right now I believe that Richley and I would like to find a place where to have some hitting, because today is rather cool and we would like to have a lovely Turkish tea. What do you think about it, Richley?
Well, actually I think I want a Turkish coffee.
Really?
Yeah, we had a tea on the boat, so now I think it's coffee time.
I believe we found one of the best cafes in the town because we got two amazing cappuccinos. And I have to say that I was shocked, because after 2 or 3 days, for the first time I was able to order a cappuccino with almond milk, because in this country this is kind of, let's say, not very common to order cappuccino with almond milk or coconut milk.
By coming to this town, you basically get transported away from the classic Turkish experience to come into a more like, let's say, English, Swedish, Norwegian, coastal town ambience. Here you really have to take in all the lovely buildings, go to some of the lovely cafes that are here and just enjoy yourself and relax.
You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight.
Shortly after having our coffee, we decided to go to one of the many restaurants in the town. And I have to say that if you want to try authentic, mouth-watering and delicious Turkish food, you have to go to the places where only locals go. Otherwise, if you go to places where only tourists go, the quality is going to be rather rubbish. Once you see the town, I would recommend that you get on another ferry up the Bosphorus Strait, because then you can see more of it and you can see so much like landscape and stuff. And in any case, all the ferries go up north and then they go down south to Eminönü, back to Istanbul. I'm sincerely thrilled because I never knew that Istanbul has this amazing architecture in its metropolitan area. You would normally think that just the historical center of Istanbul is beautiful, but that's not true at all. As soon as you go to other areas in its metropolitan area, you would be rather surprised, because the city has many beautiful hidden jewels all over the place.
Right now we're going to have the most famous drink in Istanbul, well at least for us, and this is the ayran. It's a delicious dairy drink, but extremely creamy, and it's kind of salty in taste. It's more or less like a yogurt drink, but it's just incredible. You have to try ayran when you come to Istanbul.
Once you reach the last stop of the ferry, you can almost see the Black Sea. This is incredible. If you kept going up there, you would get to Crimea.
Isn't the view just amazing? If you really want to see an amazing view of the European side, you have to come to the Üsküdar on the Asian side, and you can see Istanbul in all its glory, especially during the sunset.
So everyone, unfortunately we have come to the end of this vlog here in Istanbul, unfortunately. But however, tomorrow we are going to go to the Princess Island, and that means that we are going to be making another amazing vlog in this fantastic and glorious country, which is Turkey. Without further ado, I would like to say, if you liked the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and to give us a thumbs up. See you next time on a new adventure.